Alright, 6th grade, here we go with chapter 2.7, writing decimals as fractions. Okay, decimals is kind of scary, fractions are kind of scary, so we're going to start out with something that you just have to memorize. Okay, so this is important. You have to memorize these. Okay, these are some fractions and decimal conversions that you should know. Alright, so this is the easiest one. 0.5 is 1/2. You need to know that. And then you've got some quarters. 0.25 is 1/4. Okay, 0.50 is the same as 1/2. It's like 2/4. This is like 25 cents. 25 cents is a quarter, and it's 1/4. It's a pretty easy way to remember it. 25 cents is 1/4. Okay, 2/4 is 50 cents, and it's also half a dollar. Okay, so that's this one. Okay, the next one is 75 cents, which is 0.75. This can be read 75 hundredths, but it is 3/4. Okay, 75 cents is 3/4. So these are all pretty easy. Now, a couple other you need to know is 0.3. 0.333333 that goes on forever. We use the little bar to show that the 3 goes on to forever. This is equal to 1/3. The next one is 0.6666666 that goes on forever. Little bar over it. It's actually 2/3. I guess that would make sense, right? Now if it was just 33 plus 33 plus 33, that'd be 33 plus 33 is 66, plus 33 is 99. And we didn't quite get to 100. 99 plus 1 is 100. And we'd have to take this 1 and split it up into 3 pieces, into thirds. And each of those would be, 33% or whatever, 0.3 of it. And we'd end up with another 99, and we'd give another 1, and it would just keep going. So we're going to you're just going to have to trust us on that one. 0.33333 forever is 1/3, and 0.66666 forever is 2/3. And these are the most important ones to memorize. Half, 1/4, and 3/4. And these are all basically parts of a dollar, like quarters. Now half is half of a dollar, and it's kind of all by itself. That's why I did it in purple. But a whole dollar would be 1, like 4/4. I guess if I did that one, it would be 1.0. $1 is equal to 1. Okay, so half, 1/4, 3/4, and 1. I don't know. That might be just a little too simplified. You guys got that figured out. I'm going to pause. My dog needs to come in. She's scratching at the door. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're going to clear this page out, come back to it, or write it down on a separate piece of paper. You can pause this to write it down. It's something that you need to memorize. I'm not kidding. It'll make your life much easier. But simply writing a decimal as a fraction is really not that complicated. Say this fraction right here. This is 0.2, but we pronounce it, not with that, we pronounce it 0 and 2/10. And you should know that. You should remember that. 0 and 2/10. So the 0 and the and, whenever the decimal is, that's where you say and. That's and. 0 and. So 0 whole numbers and what fraction? So the fraction is really this 2/10 part. 2/10 can be written as a fraction, obviously, and then it can be simplified down to 1/5. So 0.2 is the same as 1/5. Now the way we simplify, I'm sure you remember, but you would divide the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by the same number, and you get it down to its simplest form so that you can't divide it anymore. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Dividing it by 2 halves is really just it's like dividing by 1. When you divide by 1, it's the same number. 2/10 is equal to 1/5. Okay, so that's the little mini lesson, and stuff that you already know. If you don't, we can talk about it more. Okay, so with this in mind, 0.2 is 2/10, 0 and 2/10. So you just have to make sure that you're able to read every problem in the long form. For instance, this complicated one here, 0.135. Well, this is really 0 and 135. We have tens place, hundreds place, thousands place. So it's 0 and 135 thousandths. So we just put it over 1,000. So this is it, but now we have to simplify it. If we just divide both sides by 5, you might have to get a calculator, but it goes 27 times, 5 goes into 100 20 times, and then it goes into 35 7 times. So you can use a calculator to do that. And I divide it by 5 on the top and then divide by 5 on the bottom. Okay, so 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. 2 times 5 is 10 plus the 2 zeros. So there's the 10 plus 2 zeros. So 27 200ths. Now the question is, can we divide 27 and 200 by something? Well, 27 is divisible by, you can divide it by 3, or you could divide it by 9, or you could divide it by 27. So 200 divided by 3 doesn't work. 200 divided by 9 doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure 200 divided by 27 doesn't work either. And if that's true, then this would be your simplest form. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you have the simplest form or not. This time you do. Okay, let's do another one. Hopefully it's not too much. Well, let's make it easier. 0.52. Okay, this is 0.52 is 52 hundredths. 0 and 52 hundredths looks like that. And you could just, one method is to just cut it in half, divide by 2. 52 divided by 2 is 26 over 50. But that means we're not quite done. We can cut that in half again. 26 in half is 13 over 25. That would be our final answer. Okay. Now, if we just started with the 52 over 100, we might notice that we can divide 52 by 4. You might not notice either. It's not a super easy one. You divide it by 4 and you divide 100 by 4. Okay, 100 divided by 4 is pretty easy. Okay, and that gets us straight to our answer, 25. We know that's the right answer over here. 100 divided by 4 is 25. 4 times 10 is 40. And 40 plus 12 is 52. So if it takes 10 to get to 40 and it takes 3 to get to 12, then 13 is what it takes to get to 52. 10 plus 3. I don't know if you can see what my head is doing here. It's just a quick way to divide or multiply, reverse division. Okay, that's that one, 13/25. Maybe one more complicated. Here is, let's get rid of this color. I'm not sure I like this color. Something a little bolder. 3.025. Now, this is a little different because this is really a mixed number. This is 3 and 25 hundredths. And we can break this up into something that looks like this. 3 plus 25 hundredths. It's the same thing. And then we can rewrite it as 3 and 25. I said hundredths. I said it twice. It's really thousandths because this is the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. Hopefully you can adjust that in your brains. This is the thousandths place. So 3 and 25 thousandths. Again, we're going to leave the 3 alone because it's in the it's a whole number. We're just going to leave it alone. But we have to work on this 25 and this 1,000. I can actually divide it by 25 because I can divide 100 by 25. I know 100 divided by 25 is 4. So 1,000 divided by 25 has to be a 4 with an extra 0. Because we have 100 and we have an extra 0. 25 goes into 100 4 times plus that extra 0. 25 goes into 25 1 time. So 3 1/40 is the answer. The solution, the simplified version or the conversion of changing a decimal into a fraction. All right, we have 2 more and then we're done. Hopefully the time hasn't gone on too slow. 6 34 hundredths. 6 34 hundredths looks like this in decimal form. It looks like this as a mixed number. See, whenever we have a number on the left side of the decimal, that's a whole number. It's a whole number. And over here is the fraction. And this middle number, as we have said already, is the and. 6 34 hundredths. And then we're going to simplify. You can divide 34 and 100. You can't divide 34 by 4. 4 goes into 32 and it goes into 36. So let's just start with 2 divided by 2 divided by 2. Alright, so 6 17 fiftieths. And I think that 17 is one of those numbers we're not going to be able to divide 17 by anything that we can also divide 50 by, except the number 1, and that's not going to give us a different answer. So 6 17 fiftieths is our final answer there. And the last one, 7 2/10. This actually looks very easy. I'm not sure why it's the last one. Maybe it's harder than it looks. 7 2/10. That's not harder than it looks. 7 2/10. And the simplified version, just 7 1/5. Now, I divided the 2 by 2 and the 10 by 2. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. 1/5. 7 1/5. Okay, that's super cool. I'm happy about it. I'm jumping up and down. You guys have a great day.